And could it jeopardize the nation's national? Let's ask Congressman John Campbell, Republican of California. Sir, are you concerned or are you not concerned about the size of the request to cut the defense budget here in order to curtail the deficit?
I am not concerned, Liz. And if I were on that prior panel, the panel you just had, I would be one of those people. The deficit, the debt, the overall debt is a huge problem, and it is a national security problem in and of itself. No don't own more of our debt than we do, but they own a lot, and so do other countries. And we are ceding our national security, our economic security to them. So we have to get this debt under control. And you can't go and say we're going to take waste out of health and human services or some other program, entitlements, whatever, without saying, hey, there's waste in defense too. We can do the job of national defense and save some money as well. And so I don't think the cuts that the Pentagon has put on the table are jeopardizing our national defense. And if you look, it's less than 2.5% over the next 5 years. So it's not a huge reduction that they're proposing.
But this is to my point, Congressman Campbell. We need huge reductions. We were speaking to Congressman Brady this morning, and he said, Cuts Act, and part of it is going to be cutting procurement in defense, and it's going to save $150 billion over 5 years. Well, we're running deficits of $1 trillion a year. I know it's a step in the right direction, but cutting out waste is only going to be a small step. We need to take huge steps. How are we going to do that?
You're right. Or huge steps in everything. I mean, in entitlements, in the rest of the non-defense budget, but in the defense budget as well. And obviously, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan should be wrapping up here. I mean, Iraq should be wrapping up very soon, and Afghanistan, in my opinion, should be. We should, I mean, that's a whole separate issue, but there's a lot of money there as well. And so we do have to look not only at the waste in some of these things and at the large civilian, non-uniformed employment of the Defense Department, a lot of those different things. But you're right. This is just the beginning. We need to look at some more and look at what is our role going to be going forward with the defense, with our military, to keep ourselves safe, but understand that we don't have unlimited resources.
You know, it's worth noting Admiral Mike McMullen said that, hey, listen, the deficit is a national security problem. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said the deficit is a national, Admiral Mike Mullen, Secretary of State Clinton said it is a national security problem. But, sir, is this more of a cultural and attitude problem in the U.S. Congress on the part of the states, treating the defense budget as sort of a boondoggle jobs program for each of their states? Is that the issue?
That certainly is a lot of it. And, you know, I'm a person that doesn't like earmarks. I've been fighting earmarks since I came to Congress. The worst earmarks are in defense. Some of the worst ones, some of the ones with the greatest abuse are in the Defense Department, and the Defense Department should not be a jobs program. The purpose of our military, the purpose of our Department of Defense is to protect the country and provide our national security. When we say, oh, we have to build more of this particular weapon system or more of this tank or more of this helicopter because it will provide jobs in someone's district, that's the wrong reason to do it. But that has been a lot of the growth of our defense spending, has been using it as a job program, and that's one of the things, Liz and Chris, we absolutely got to stop.
You know, it's very interesting when you just look back through history. The Cold War finished right as the hostility in the Middle East really picked up, late 80s, early 90s. If we pull out of Afghanistan and Iraq, where are we going to fight our war? I mean, you're going to have China, you're going to have Korea, but where are we going to focus that defense spending? And will that be, I don't want excuse, but is that the impetus really to make these huge changes?
Well, where are we going to fight our war? Hopefully nowhere. But one of the things in the history of the military is that each conflict is different. The tools you need are different. The personnel you need are different. The strategies and tactics you need are different. The weaponry you need is different. And one of the things we have to do is try and forecast and predict what is that going to be. And we have to stop fighting the wars of 10 or 20 or 30 years ago and start thinking about what conflicts might or what we need to ensure our security 10 or 20 years from now. You know, between World War I and World War II was just over 20 years, but yet the weapon systems and the strategy and tactics changed dramatically, and they're still changing dramatically. But in a lot of cases, we're keeping the old weapon systems while funding new ones, and we have to not do that. We have to let go of those things that are no longer going to be effective in the conflicts we might have or might be looking at in the future.
Congressman John Campbell, thank you so much, sir.
Sure, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, he's right. I should have said, where are we going to be preparing to fight our next war, not fighting our next war. Hopefully that won't be for quite some time. All right.